Hi everyone, my name is Adetutu Aina-Pelemo. I'm a lawyer with over 10 years post-call, and I'm a doctor of law, majoring on labor relations and industrial laws. I currently lecture at Faculty of Law, Redeemers University. In the next few minutes, I'll be sharing with you on sexual harassment at workplace. First, what is harassment? Harassment is any social behavior that tends to create fear, threatens, frustrates, derogates, and diminishes the dignity of a person. Harassment could be classified into three different types. We have sexual harassment, non-sexual harassment, which is classified under workplace bully, as well as mixed sexual harassment. That is classified under gender harassment, which could be sexual and non-sexual in nature. We'll proceed to our major focus of discourse, which is sexual harassment at workplace. What is sexual harassment? Sexual harassment is an unwelcome, unsolicited, and unwanted sexual advances from a person to another, which tends to create fear, threatens, frustrates, diminishes, or derogates the dignity of the recipient. Under sexual harassment, we have two major types. They are quid pro quo and hostile environment. Quid pro quo is a Latin word that means exchange of one thing to the other, trade by barter. For example, when your job benefits or condition of service or condition of work is based on sexual favors, or the development or advancement or the knowledge you seek to attain in your work settings is condition of you having a sexual affair with another person within the setting. That's the meaning of quid pro quo. While the other aspect is hostile environment. Hostile environment could occur when you are being sexually harassed and you refused to succumb to give in to the harassment. Or you have given in to the harassment, and then the aftermath of it, because you can't continue to be the only person the harasser will keep harassing. It will move from one person to the other. So that means at a point you get tired of you and you become frustrated. So that's when the environment becomes hostile to you, because the harasser will start frustrating you so that you can leave the system on your own, and another you can have room for the other person you just started with, he or she just started with. So those are the types of sexual harassment at workplace. We move to the forms of sexual harassment. The forms of sexual harassment varies from organization to organization. Within the tertiary institution, you have something like sexual bribery, sex for marks. You have sexual imposition, sexual coercion, sexual assault, and then gender harassment. But within the work office settings, you see something like verbal harassment, non-verbal harassment, physical harassment, emotional, psychological harassment when you work on your site. And then you see sharing private aspect of his or herself with you, unsolicited gifts, unwanted money, but you can't reject it. Those are the forms of harassment you see within the office settings. And then we will proceed to the likely causes of sexual harassment. The likely causes of sexual harassment could be seen under direct or indirect aspect. Under the direct causes of sexual harassment, we have the organizational settings. If the setting is structured in such a way that it has to do majorly with power differences, that's one of the major direct causes of sexual harassment. Another aspect is the patriarchy structure of the society, where men are seen as much more important to the women. And then another aspect is lack of legislative provision to address issues of sexual harassment at workplace, or unclear legal framework to sexual harassment discussion. And then finally, on that aspect, we also have ignorance or lack of knowledge or naivety of the person. When the laws are even there, you don't have knowledge of it. And finally, on that aspect, we have the organizational intolerance to sexual harassment. And then we proceed. That's the aspect of the direct aspect of causes of sexual harassment. Why the indirect has to do with the following: over attractiveness, overuse of makeup, femininity attributes. You know that you advocate for women's rights, but when it's of the essence, the woman in question will be subject to harassment in order to boost their ego, the ego of the man in question. And then we have the sex role, what the society sees gender to be as an indirect cause to sexual harassment. Then we have inferiority complex, when you have a low self-esteem. And finally, if you are the kind of person that begs or borrow money, or you tend to borrow things from people, or you're always wanting to seek favor from people, those are indirect causes to sexual harassment. And then in subsequent video of ours, we'll be considering the consequences, the signals that you look out for to prevent against sexual harassment, the likely coping strategies, as well as the prevention measures. And then I remain Adetutu Aina-Pelemo from Redeemers University. Thank you.